Welcome back. The government has promised that the full commissioning of the Owen King EU Hospital will be complete by the first half of 2020. But one medical professional who previously served on the executive of the St. Lucia Medical and Dental Association says he is alarmed by reports that foreign-based entities or experts might be brought in to oversee the process. Dr. Paulus Lendor is cautioning against any decision to bring in foreigners to lead the full commissioning of the Owen King EU Hospital. The obstetrician gynecologist is the former vice president of the St. Lucia Medical and Dental Association. He says any effort on the part of government to bring in foreign entities to manage the transitioning from Victoria Hospital to the Owen King EU Hospital will be exorbitant and frankly disastrous.
For too long we have depended upon foreigners to do what we have to do. For too long, we, as professionals, we have allowed people who are less capable than us to question our ability and to believe in the ability of outsiders. We are capable of doing it. And if the Ministry of Health is serious in addressing the health and safety issues that exist at our healthcare institution, then they should engage capable individuals who are locals at a reduced price, I can even say at no additional cost to the state, and that shall be a success.
Dr. Lendor is absolutely certain that St. Lucia has the requisite technical, managerial, and medical expertise to see the Owen King EU Hospital commissioning through to fruition.
I can assure you, St. Lucians, that if a group of St. Lucians are selected to do that transition, in less than 60 days, the OKEU shall be functioning. The cost that is being incurred will be minimum, and we would have no reasons to bring in people from outside to provide the quality of care that is required. All we would be required of us is to consider what exists at Victoria Hospital, do the necessary calculations, do the necessary discharges, and for us to start functioning at the OKEU.
In his New Year address to the nation on Sunday, the 12th of January 2020, Prime Minister Alan Chastney stated that St. Lucians can expect the full commissioning of the Owen King EU Hospital as the majority of the faulty equipment has been fixed or is being replaced, and that government has set a deadline to move in by the first half of this year. That was the extent of his disclosure about the progress of the facility. The National Workers' Union is still searching for answers on behalf of its members employed with the National Housing Corporation, NHC. The accounts clerk, on the other hand, has stepped forward to address what she says are statements that suggest wrongdoing. She says all financial matters have been above board and the salaries issue has been resolved. Jacques Wooding tells us more.
In a recent press release, the National Workers' Union sought to highlight several issues identified in the operations of the National Housing Corporation, which are alleged to have led to the non-payment of NHC employees for the month of January 2020. A situation which NWU Deputy President General Solis Myers describes as rather unfortunate, given the lack of communication between the NWU and NHC on the current status of the board and its operations.
Well, it's rather unfortunate that we find ourselves at this juncture with the NHC. We would have been informed by our members late last week, which would have been the pay week for most institutions and government, that unfortunately they had not been paid. So upon hearing that, we decided to try and find out what happened, and our investigations revealed some very troubling instances towards the end of the month, and we're very concerned about the entire situation, especially in light of the fact we've been trying to get a meeting going with the powers that be.
The NHC has since responded to the NWU's claims, seeking to dispel several suggested operative shortcomings within the organization. In a press release by accountant Sidonia Childs on behalf of the NHC, noted that no check has been signed by Timothy Mangal, the accountant, or any other NHC signatory after the tenure of the board, and the NHC's accountant was not cleared to pay any board members who did not work for the NHC, as was alleged by the union. The accountant also stated that non-payment of salaries was due to insufficient funds on the account. However, the issue has been rectified as of January 28, 2020. However, this is not the end of the road, as the NWU is still in the process of seeking counsel with Minister Guy Joseph to address the issues at the NHC.
Well, we wrote Mr. Joseph about, say, 2.5-3 weeks ago. We would have received a follow-up from his secretary last week. So right now we are waiting a confirmation of a meeting date. So it is our hope we could get that date gone to address the situation, rectify, allow the staff to get their monies, obviously, and also tackle all of the other outstanding issues facing the National Housing Corporation. We have a number of issues related to the occupational health and safety of the staff in that building. Also in terms of the position of the general manager, what exactly is happening there, and a number of operational concerns and considerations that have been brought to the NHC from time to time. So we need to address all of these long outstanding issues.
The NWU reports no confirmation of the claimed ratification of non-payments, which was announced to meet the deadline of 9 a.m. this morning. Port 7 News, I am Jacques Houding.
As far as the Calypso arena goes, Frances Marilyn Baptist, better known as Lady Lynn, has definitely made an indelible mark on the industry. For a performer whose career has spanned over decades, Lady Lynn says her commitment to the art form is still stronger than ever. This week, she invites members of the public to join her in celebrating 30 years of success in Calypso.
Frances Baptist, known by the stage name Lady Lynn, was born in Castries, Block B in the CDC apartment complex, where her mother Beatrice raised her and her brother Michael. She attended the Gordon and Walcott Memorial Methodist School before moving on to St. Joseph's Convent. In 1990, she entered the competitive Calypso fray for the first time, after walking through Castries and having her lyrics to her first song Respect float through her mind. Since then, her career has seen her performing alongside Calypso Rose, Crazy, John King, Red Plastic Bag, Pele, Invader, Chalk Dust, Black Stallion, Alison Hines, Shadow, Crossfire, and Square One. With a long history of success in Calypso, Lady Lynn says she is still going strong as she celebrates 30 years in the industry.
Oh, my journey has been ups and downs and good and bad, and that's okay. I have been able to conquer.
Baptist says she took this initiative to celebrate her art, as she often laments the celebration of artists only when they have passed away.
This was something that I planned and I wanted to do, because that's exactly what I said. Anything that you do for me out when I'm dead, I wouldn't see it, I wouldn't hear it, I wouldn't know it. So this is the reason why I did that for myself, and for people to understand what kind, the kind of things that you know you go through, and you keep. You'll see me as a child and as an adult. So all these photos are memories for me, and I hope that everybody will appreciate it and come and support it.
Lady Lynn urges members of the public to come take in her momentous journey, and offers the opportunity to provide advice to young aspiring Calypsonians as part of its daily activities. The exhibition is being held at the Castries City Hall and will be continued until Friday, January 31st. Port 7 News, I am Jacques Wooding.
CEO of Export St. Lucia, Sunita Daniels, says in realizing the lack of understanding by a majority of local exporters in various facets of intellectual property, Export St. Lucia has decided to place greater focus on this area as a priority for their 2020 operations.
People don't understand how much power they have when they have protected their intellectual property assets. And for us, our role really is to educate them. Because if she, for example, doesn't know what her avenues for redress are, she won't be able to address any of them. And for us, our role is to let her know what she can do to protect the asset in the first place, but also what is her redress. How can she ensure that other people don't copy her work, or that other people don't follow exactly what she does, but if they do, that she gets paid for it.
The agency aims to remedy the situation by continuing to host initiatives such as the 2019 Intellectual Property Workshop, which was held in collaboration with the World Intellectual Property Organization. Daniels says a handful of interventions have already been stated with the aid of the business registry.
the intellectual property has to be an ecosystem that works together. So it will not be our role alone or the small businesses' role alone to ensure that that happens. We've been working very closely with the Registry of Companies, with the World Intellectual Property Organization. We've actually had some commitment from them to do some additional work. What we require also is that small businesses also have to pay attention to their asset. So if you, for example, have a licensing arrangement, so you have a particular graphic, for example, that you've copyrighted, then you need to pay attention to how it's being used, because you can then take that to the courts to ensure that there is redress.
She urges local graphic designers in particular to contact the agency for intervention, as their graphics are mass-produced ahead of 2020 independence activities. This is the Hot 7 TV Nightly News. Stay with us. Sports and weather are coming up after the break.